Naomi. So I wanted to show you some stretches that you can do until you get your foam roller, because we do want to start to rehab the areas in your body that are very tight. So essentially, saying that you have tight calves means that this area here are overactive, this area here is overactive, and all of this is not doing a goddamn thing. And then in here, your adductors, this small area here is very tight. As well as your vastus lateralis, so that's another muscle, but these lead into the knee. So between all this tension pulling here as well as this area here, then you're going to feel a lot of pain in the knees, or like lots of poppings and things like that. So we need to even out the distribution, which means we want to work on the tops here, the quads. If we can activate these muscles and these muscles instead of these smaller muscles taking over, then we will be able to naturally shed body weight without you having to kill at cardio. But also, like, literally, like, it's not about anything other than increasing flexibility. That's what I mean. So we're not going for splits. The increasing flexibility is taking out the tension here and looking for activity in larger muscles. So stretches that you can do without a foam roller to alleviate pain in the calves. First things first, in tabletop, I'm going to extend my leg back. And then my big toe's leading the charge, but it's the ball of my foot that's down. Take an inhale, exhale, drive the heel back. And you want to stay for about 30 to 60 seconds for a good stretch if you really have a lot of tension. I'm actually going to switch out my opposite leg because I've got lots of tension there, so it'll be more realistic if I do this. Belly button pulled in is fine, but just really applying a little bit of pressure. As you can see, I'm still keeping everything else in line, right? So I'm not pushing my heel back, but have my knee bent. That's my quads here are engaged. So you might feel some tension from these muscles here activating. Press it back, and then you can play with the angle of where you're putting the pressure on in the ball of the toe, right? But mostly I just drag back my big toe. And that helps target the internal muscles. So it's not the ones that we see on top. It's actually very deep internal muscles that are tight for you. Similarly, you can turn it over and then rock your hips forward. You don't want to overdo that because you'll drag the mat, but just a little bit there. Other things in yoga that are good for this is downward facing dog. So inhale, exhale, lift the hips up, dropping the heels down. So in that cue, this is toes up for the inhale where my hips are coming high. Exhale, lowering heels toward the floor. And just focus on the breath. You can march them. You definitely can march them. That's a-okay. And then similarly, I'm going to step back just a bit. Similarly, from downward facing dog, roll through, tabletop, overturn the toes, and drop hips for up dog. Now these are good, but the issue is that these stretches require other muscles to work, so it's not just going to target the ankle. Drop to the knees, inhale, exhale, shift back, child's pose. And coming back up. This is another good one for my knee as well. So I'm going to turn. This is Virasana. Oh, that's so funny. It's right here on top. Hero pose. Okay, so it's classified as a hip opener, but I enjoy what it does for my knees. So I'm going to open up, and my hips, knees are wide outside my hip line. And then my feet, they're not coming together in this way. They're parallel, right? Adjusting from toe up. So toe rotates in line with ankle, rotates in line with knee. Hips rotate in line with knees. And then I'm going to gently lower and sit back. Now, I myself can sit back all the way. If this is extreme pressure, this is where you have a block, pillow, foam roller, baby wipes box, like whatever you need. That's where you would come here and you would have a seat there to help relieve tension. That's how you use blocks, by the way. The last two stretches here. So standing, before you do cycling, this is good for you to do to help make sure your calves are in the right position, is you would lift your heel. So first you're just going to start off nice and tall. Ground yourself from the soles of your feet up. Find length in your spine. Play with your hip area, whatever you need to do. Decompress shoulders from the ears and adjust, pulling that belly button to spine. So fully and erect. You're going to lift your toes and place them on a wall and then just rock your hips forward. This isn't a real wall, so I can't really show the transfer of pressure. But yeah, just like that. And you might really feel that all the way up like I do when I have like a more complete muscle chain. But more importantly, I want you to also, because there's deep muscles in here that are super tight for you, so you're really going to feel that. But as well, taking the foot back, overturning, rocking hips forward. Helping to stretch out, because right, the foot moves in both ways. So standing a lot or keeping your foot at a flexed position in this is going to cause tension in the shins, which is again a reason why you pull forward in the squat. Make sure there's a slight bend to your stable leg. There's no need to ever lock out a joint. Hang out till the tension is gone, or at least 30 to 60 seconds. And then making sure that your feet are in fact parallel. You're going to lift up, and all you're going to do is roll through the foot, drop that heel down. And then, yeah, again, there's never a reason to lock out, but you'll probably feel more sensation in this than I do. So this is not a lunge. This was just transference of weight, right? So